Hey everybody, Kevin here with Western Hunter Magazine. Just gonna do a little overview of the pack that I'm gonna be using on a couple hunts this year. Doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. I think at this point everyone's well aware of who Kifaru is, their latest ARK frame, and then this bag, the KU 4300. So this is the latest generation. I think they just released another pack or bag as well, but this is one that I've been using for a while. And I'm pretty impressed with. It's quite a bit different. The bag here, the 4300, quite a bit different than the bag that I've used from them in the past for a long time, the Hoodlum. I'll get into the bag in a second. We'll just kind of start with the frame. There's a ton of videos, and I'll start by saying I'm not going to go into all of the how-tos, instructions on how to set this frame up, how to adjust it to you in classic Kafaru fashion. They've done an incredible job. There's a video on just about every single question or thing that you want to know about this frame. Between Aaron and the team there, they've done a bang-up job at just showing you all the features in this thing. I'm just going to kind of go over some of the things that I thought are really cool about this frame. So they released this frame in February of this year, and the thing that I found really cool about it is they could have gone lighter. They didn't. So it is the lightest frame they've ever made. And yes, it is a made in America carbon fiber, just like the rest of the components of the Kafaru system. But what I've learned, and what is I think a lot of people will appreciate, is the weight that they saved in the frame is redistributed into the high density foam they added into the shoulder straps, the belt, the lumbar pad. Essentially what that's doing is just adding far more durability to it and comfort over the long haul. In their frame, in their bags in the past, they had some warranty issues over time, and not necessarily warranty issues that were like making the pack fail, but change, the density of that foam, once that begins to kind of shrink down and compress over time in a lot of heavy loadouts, it changes the way the pack is riding, especially with the foam they were using in the lumbar pad. So this whole system is really a culmination of a lot of the things they've learned over the years, which I think is super cool to see. A company such as Kafaru, who's churned out a lot of packs, and that's really their profession, and like that's all they do. And they're listening to the customers, they're listening and seeing what's happening in the field. And they've addressed a lot of issues here, from the breathability of where these channels are in the frame, the density of the foam, even down to like in the pack itself, the size buckles they're using. So I guess just a quick look at the bag for a second. They did release a KU series a long time ago, which was incredibly lightweight, but consequently very, I would say, not durable. They had a lot of warranty issues with it. They found some new material to go with, and it's pretty state-of-the-art material, and I think it's a really happy medium between weight, savings, strength, and frankly, it just looks pretty cool too. So I think everyone appreciates that too. But so far, the thing that I've been impressed with most with this frame, and it's kind of what they set out to do, is this thing is just as comfortable with an incredibly light load as it is with a heavy load, and that's hard to achieve with most packs. As you've may experienced before, when you've got a frame that is really, really good at handling that 100 plus pound load, it tends to be pretty uncomfortable when you're light, when you're sub 50 pounds, 20 pounds, and vice versa. There's a lot of packs you try on in the store or at a show, and with nothing in it, this thing feels amazing, but the second you get that thing weighed down, it's uncomfortable. So, really what the whole system is doing, and they've done it with obviously the foam, the ergonomics of it all, is incredibly comfortable, lightweight, like in day mode when you just have spotting scope, a little bit of water, and just a couple things in there, as it is when you've got a full load in there. And that's pretty impressive, and I think you're only able to achieve that over a lot of trial and error and just experience in building these things. So just a couple other things about this frame, sort of some of the intangibles that I think I appreciate, and if you've used a Kafaru system or any other pack system in the past, the adjustability of these shoulder straps is incredibly easy. There's a Velcro strap system here in the back to adjust the height of it on the frame to kind of fit your torso length, really, really well. It's incredibly easy, and there's a lot of other systems out there where there's some belts and buckles and case strap loops that are just it becomes kind of challenging and you're not totally sure if you got it right. There's really no way to screw this up. Of course, though, if you want to watch a video on the proper fitting of this, they've got that available on Kafaru's site as well. Again, the frame, super light. So with this medium belt and this frame, you're just a touch over 3 pounds. I think it's like 3.09 pounds. Incredibly lightweight. One of the things they also did with the belts, fitting is you've got 3 sizes. You've got I think a small, medium, large for the belts. There's improved sizing there. In the past, the Kafaru belts, there was a lot of in-betweeners, and depending on where your waist was, if you were like a 36 or something, more of a 35, you were in between that like medium and large size. I believe this is a medium, and I've got like a 34 waist, and it fits perfectly. Really has that nice full wraparound of the hips that you like to see. So there's just a lot of subtle things they've done with this frame that I think make a lot of big improvements too. And if you've been a Kafaru user in the past, you'll notice those. And even if it's your first Kafaru pack, I think you'll just appreciate how seamless and easy and well thought through this whole system is. So one of the cool things about this bag, and this is a new style of bag for me. As I said, I've used their hoodlum bag before, and as a lot of Kafaru system bags go, you got pockets everywhere. And if there's not enough, you can add them anywhere else you want with the MOLLE that they've got. This bag, the KU 4300 with the lid, which is something you can add on to it, it's incredibly low drag. There's no pockets. There's no MOLLE on this thing. There's one pocket in the snow collar, so you don't need a lid in order to have a pocket. You do get a pocket on the snow collar, so you can use this snow collar as a lid. There's a pocket there, so you don't have to have this lid if you want to go ultra light and fast and day mode. You don't need the extra pocket space in here. I believe the lid here is about 750 cubic inches. Obviously the bag itself is 4,300 cubic inches. So we'll just take a closer look here at the KU lid. So this is an optional accessory for the KU 4300. It adds about 750 cubic inches to the whole carrying capacity of the pack. I think it's a fairly necessary thing to add if you want to have the functionality of taking this whole system out for 3, 4, 5 plus days. I also like the fact that obviously this gives you your pocket options. Like right now, aside from the pocket that you get in the snow collar, this is the only other way to add some pockets to it. You've got this one exterior pocket, which you could fit a handful of things in there, from like a couple beanies, pair of gloves, bars. This larger pocket on the top of this lid is the whole entire thing you're seeing here. So you could fit just about anything from a couple water bottles, kill kit, even a rain jacket, whatever you really want to put in there, all in the lid. This grid material is pretty state of the art, which is, you'll see that in the rest of the pack. And then this green material here is called EPX, which these are both pretty new materials that Kafaru has found. I don't see these materials being used in any of their system. They're using this EPX material in some of the areas, like the bottom of the bag, some areas in the snow collar where they're more high friction areas. There's more tension on some straps. So really, it's probably, I wouldn't say a must-have, but it's highly suggested, I think, from my point of view, that you add this when you're buying that bag, just to add some added functionality and then some more carrying capacity to the system. But yeah, this is the KU lid, and I don't know if you can use their guide lid. I'm pretty sure you can use their guide lid on this system. The guide lid's pretty darn big, but this will get you just about anywhere you need to go for, I would say, 90% of the trips you're doing. So you don't have to have this lid if you want to go ultra light and fast and day mode. You don't need the extra pocket space in here. I believe the lid here is about 750 cubic inches. Obviously the bag itself is 4,300 cubic inches. You don't have to have that lid. And so you do get a little bit of a pocket organization there. At first, I was kind of nervous on how that was gonna work for me, but I have really actually enjoyed it. I think sometimes too many pockets, you get too much of your junk spread out everywhere, and you're unzipping and trying to look for that bino adapter or wind check or whatever you're looking for. And it's nice. You got one pocket. I've really found that just putting my tripod, like right here in this deal, just putting one leg or two legs through and cinching it down is great, because I don't have to pull my tripod out of another pocket. It's at the ready, on the go, and there's plenty of space. So you can put anything you really need to in here. And I think it's pretty stout. I think what Kafaru says is 4 to 7 days is what you can get out of this bag. Some guys maybe more. Everyone's gonna kind of have to feel that out for themselves, of course. So that's kind of the bag in a nutshell. One of the other things, and I know I'm hopping around here, sorry, but one of the other cool things I wanted to show you, well, it's gonna be hard to show you, but the laser cut moly that they switched to on this new frame that's on the belt. This is a bit of a different approach to the moly that they've used traditionally. The reason why they did it is it definitely allows higher end, weapons, holsters, and holsters in general, and a lot of other accessories to attach more securely and easily to that piece of moly. Again, just with almost every feature, every buckle, every clip that you see on here, the reason behind it is to improve upon something they had on their older platform. When it comes to the older platform, this frame you can use with any old bag or new bag that they're going to be coming out with. So there's a tab loop system that you just need to use if you're putting a hoodlum or bedlam or whatever older bag you have from them. There's a very simple way and an instructional video from Kafaru to show you how to do it, to attach those old bags to this new frame. We will put a link in the description of this video where you can kind of learn more about the pack, so I encourage you to check that out. I did an article on Kifaru, gosh, was it 2 or 3 issues ago in Western Hunter magazine, really on their manufacturing process. And it doesn't matter to everybody. I think it's increasingly becoming more popular that things are manufactured here in the United States using American-born materials. That's something that Kafaru has been dedicated to from the beginning of their company, and I think that goes a long ways, not just to the quality of this product and when you feel it. This is not a cheap bag. The frame itself is, I think, $500. The bag is somewhere around $200 or $300. So this is not a cheap product, but it definitely you get what you pay for out of this thing, and you're putting your money that's invested in American manufacturing. And I think it speaks volumes when you use this thing year after year after year. One of the things that they really emphasize with this whole new system is durability. And generally, that's where the balance is weight and comfort and durability. Those things are typically, you're trying to get those things balanced, and they've done a really good job. So, I've only had a chance to use this thing for a few months on a couple bear hunts and a couple day, scouting trips and stuff like that. I've got an elk hunt this year and a late coos deer hunt that I'll be using this on. That'll be a really good test to get this thing dragged through some brush and see how it holds up. So if you guys want to learn more about this pack, like I said, there's a lot of content on the Kafaru site about it. We're going to put a link in the description of this video. We've also written a couple articles about this pack and a ton of other packs in our magazine. So we'll put a link to where you can find our magazine and subscribe to our magazine as well in the description here. So let us know what you think. If you've got any questions about this pack, or for me about how I've used it, or whatever, leave us a comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy content like this, and we'll see you next time.